Here's a contract we didn't think about that we will be discussing. Powell'S. Hello and welcome to this video. I hope you're all doing well. If you could like, share and subscribe to the channel, I'd much appreciate it. Liking helps the algorithm, sharing gets in front of people's face, and subscribing lets me know you like the channel. Hit that notification bell to let you know when video go live. I am doing a live stream tonight. We're just gonna have it as a chill one, but we're gonna go through all this a little bit more in detail with you, the community, as well. So Chris Powell has got his situation to be talked about with the club. He said that the club got under since he came on board with Danny, tenure manager, and this is one of the things that we didn't really think of, because you think, oh yeah, it's all there and dusted, but no, you've got to think of this in a different way. His contract was after when Danny came, so it was a short-term thing, then a long-term thing. So I kind of understand this. He formed a great relationship with Danny, and he's done really well. He's massively fallen in love with the fan base, and the fan base have fallen in love with Chris Powell. Now, he was swinging from the crossbar, trying to do what he normally does. But unlike other members of staff, his contract is expiring, and he doesn't want this to end his story at Sheffield Wednesday. So here's the thing: when asked on his future role or the future role and the club in general on TalkSport, there's a discussion. We know that happens every club at the end of each season about which players you like to retain, which you're going to move on, also what you like to bring in. Like I say, it happens at every club. We're no different. My contract actually ends this June. I didn't sign until the end of next year like everyone else did. That was because when I came in October with Dan, we only met a couple of times when I was in England and he was at Germany, and we didn't really know each other, and I wasn't sure how it was going to go. Also, interesting here, my contract actually ends this July. I didn't sign until the end of next year, like everyone else. Puts a bit of a claim to that thing that Danny's hasn't got a long-term deal. That gives you that thing saying he is actually here. But like I said, the club had gotten under my skin. I love working with him, and I think he's potential going to be very, very good manager higher up, whether that's the Premier League or Bundesliga or whatever he wants to do. I think he got the making of that. There's a long way to go for him, a lot to learn, which will always continue. We'll see where it lies and when we get to where we get to. But one thing is for sure, part one is complete, staying in the Championship. Part two is now about trying to progress. I really hope that we can continue this journey that we've had for the last 7 months. It's been incredible. And you don't think of this because, again, he came short term in to come and help out with Danny. And he's done an amazing job. If you go on what Dom Howson might have said about it was apparently Chansiri wanted him to bring a British coach in, you bring in Chris Powell. Chris Powell has done a really good job with the players, with the fans, and you can tell he worked well with the others as well. I wouldn't be surprised if Danny's like saying, I want to keep Chris on. Let's get a deal in place with him, and him being part of the backroom staff. I think it worked well. I think it showed that he's very good to work with, that they all get on, that they all have a way of speaking and things. And as a coach, he's fantastic. He really did. When he came in, he did kind of shore us up a lot better defensively as well. Because the first couple of games before he came in, defensively, we weren't brilliant. We were really struggling. And then he came in and he shored us up a little bit, which I think is really smart. And apparently him and Tomo have been doing the set pieces, and they've improved in the end of the last couple of games. We've been a bit better with trying to do them in an attacking sense more than a defending sense. That still needs a hell of a lot of work. I will not lie, that still needs a hell of a lot of work doing. But here's the thing, if we can keep that going and him in the backroom stuff, I love it. I would absolutely love to see Chris Powell still in our backroom staff. I think he's worked well with all the players who has been at the club. I think he worked well with Danny. I think they've set up quite a relationship now which they like. You see when he's had conversations with other players, how he got on well with them, and he spoke to them in a good way. I think there's a part of me that thinks this would be a really good thing to keep this relationship going if Danny wants him still here. Again, it's if Danny wants him still here, and I can't think Danny wouldn't, unless Danny has to make a decision about you either get Chris Powell or you get your set piece coaching properly, kind of thing. Because you got to remember, we were looking at a set piece coach, and that didn't happen due to work permits. Do you just keep someone in who's already fallen in love with the club and the players who are here currently and the fans? You've already just worked really well with him for your first time working together. Do you continue that? I think you do. I think there's a definite thing to say. We continue this working relationship because it's worked so far so good. But it all depends what Danny wants to bring in. This is the thing. This is an interesting one. Does Danny want to bring in someone else? Is it going to be the difference between him getting one coach in that another coach he wants in, or because we've heard that he wants a set piece coaching? Is this a case where he can keep Powell and then bring in a set piece coach? There's little things like that you have to put into place and talk about, because those little minute details are things that you don't think about. Because that's the thing. If we're going to be going on recruitment of players, like we say, Danny said he wants to improve infrastructure behind the scenes. That involves, I surely think that involves some coaches or some more data people or maybe scouts. There's bits like that. There's so many different levels of what we are looking to do next. So I'd like to see Chris Powell. I think most people in the fan base would. I think he's done a fantastic job since he turned up. He really has worked well with Danny throughout this period that he's come in. He's been here 7 months, and they just worked well together. They've worked incredibly well together, and I think it's one of those strange things that you forget that he was only here on a short-term basis. But the way he come in and done stuff makes it feel like he could be back again. And let's see, again, these are the things, these are the conversations that I'll be having now with players and coaches. And I think someone like Powell might want to try and hopefully get this sort of straight away. Maybe it's less of a goodbye. Maybe it's more of a we carry on, the kind of thing. And I want you here for next season. So that is one thing we've got to do. Chris Powell doesn't have a contract. His contract ends in June. So we have another person we have to look at doing. And that's the thing. It's something I don't think we've all thought of. I think we've all thought, oh, yeah, maybe he's part of the coaching staff. He's here with the same amount of time as them. No. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. And again, this one more comes down to if Danny wants to carry on working with him more than anything. Let's be honest. We don't really have anything, but I think he has had that relationship with the fans well. So let's see what happens in the next couple of days.